Well, this video got lost to time pretty quickly. That was not on purpose. But we're back for another part of 100 facts about absolutely everything. I've been kind of on a fact kick, and let's continue it. Me and Skitten have been doing really well lately. You know, we're feeling like shooting a lot of vids, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. She's enjoying it. We're playing Pokemon on the off time. She finally doesn't work 2 jobs, so this is a great release. We're gonna take 1 week and kind of just try to recover, and then we're gonna just get back to online stuff. She's got a couple of vids she wants to do with the green screen, and I'm oh so down to do them with her. So let's get into it. Play. We'll be Googling a couple of these probably, but listening to a lot of the facts. So let's go. Play.
Due to the comparatively tiny number of people who call the dramatic, craggy island of Iceland their home, amorous Icelanders have a special app to detect whether or not the person they are interested in is a relative. Number 44.
That's
the
good.
decision to ground every single
That's
plane
really
in the
good.
US on September the 11th was made by one person, a guy by the name of Ben Sliney, who was one of the Federal Aviation Administration's National Operations Managers. The 11th of September 2001 also happened to be his very first day in that position.
Oh,
Number
no.
45. Over the course of its 10 seasons, the cast of Friends earned over $88 million
What?
each. I want to be
What? Each?
happy for them, but I just hate them. I do. I hate the entire Friends cast for that. I'm just kidding, except maybe Ross. Number 46. You may remember the iconic scene in The Shawshank Redemption when Andy actually drags himself through 500 yards of human effluent for freedom.
Yeah.
Well, in reality, the journey wasn't all that unpleasant for Tim Robbins, as he was actually crawling through chocolate syrup. Apparently, the tunnel where it was filmed still smells like chocolate to this day. Number 47.
Nice.
Phyllis Smith, who portrayed the character Phyllis on the American adaptation of
what's
The
up,
Office,
Phyllis?
didn't actually audition for the part. She was originally just working as a casting associate on the show, but the director was so enamored by her demeanour, he offered her a role, playing the character with the same name. Number
Wow.
48. The average person has less than 2 legs. If you're sitting there thinking, no they don't, you fact-based moron, yes they do. Allow me to explain. Since most people have 2 legs, but far more people only have 1 leg or no legs than people who have actually more than 2 legs, the number of legs that the average person has is actually less than 2. Only slightly though, like 1.99999 or something.
That's crazy though. I didn't know so many people lost their legs. We should be less shocked about it then. Let's normalize leg loss, since basically everyone has less than 1 leg. Does it include like toe injuries too though? No, gotta be whole leg, right? Cut your toe doesn't count.
49. Popeye has 4 nephews. Their names are Popeye, Pipeye, Peepeye, and unfortunately, Poopeye. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I mean, you're gonna be bullied anyway
I
because
remember
Popeye's
that.
your uncle, but...
I was always confused at why their forearms were also the size of their dad's. But yeah, we'll continue.
When Sacha Baron Cohen released Borat in 2006,
Yep.
a lot of people in Kazakhstan were not happy about how it portrayed them all as
No, they
backwards,
weren't.
incestuous morons.
Yep.
And in fact, the country's
That's
foreign
true.
ministry threatened to sue. However, in the years after the film was released, Kazakhstan experienced an explosion in tourism. My god, that sentence was going badly. The Borat effect was so profound that in 2012, Kazakhstan's foreign minister thanked Sacha Baron Cohen after the country saw a 10-fold increase in issued visas. Number 51.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they when I first saw Borat, I wasn't sure if it was fake until like he got to the part where, okay, so like right before he leaves, like he's like walking around like introducing things, and I watched that whole first scene and didn't know it was fake until like the very end, and I was like, wow, these people have no idea what this guy's talking about, and it was like when they shoot those commercials about feeding the children, the commercials where that guy's like walking around and stuff like that. They don't know what he's. A lot of times they have no idea like what he's actually talking about because they don't speak English, and so that's when I figured it out. That these people don't know him, and that's how I figured it was.
The reason
fake.
why Sesame Street's Count Von Count is a vampire who needs to count things is because it was traditional belief in European folklore that vampires were obsessive compulsives, who are obsessed with details and counting things and, you know, eating pale women.
Got it.
Number 52. There was once a German architect named Hermann Sorgel, who devoted his entire life to promoting the idea that the Mediterranean Sea should be dammed and drained, creating vast amounts of farmable land that would also unite Europe and Africa into one supercontinent called Atlantropa. As you already may have noticed, his plans were never realised, and the Mediterranean remains a vast body of water only a lunatic would imagine eliminating.
Atlantropa. Atlantropa. I didn't spell it right, but I fucking tried. There's a whole movie about it on Vimeo. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna order pizza one day and we're gonna watch Atlantropa.
New living space and futuristic cities.
Oh, yeah. We're doing that. Oh, yeah.
Energy in abundance.
What the fuck are you selling us? Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that. We're
Number
watching the
53.
Atlantropa movie.
The vast majority of Europeans and much of the rest of the world enjoy the sweet, tangy flavour of black currant, usually in the form of a drink. However, it may surprise our American and non-American viewers alike to know that most Americans have never tasted black currant, and it was banned in the US in the
I thought you said black currant. Black currant?
1900s because of the plant's role in spreading disease among white pines, which was an important industry for the American Republic as it was growing.
Got it.
Number 54.
I don't know what that is.
Your
Black currant.
iPhone, or whatever smartphone you
Just eat, Boomerang, Park Mobile, Messenger. Dude, what do you fucking do on your phone? And why are there 100 missed messages here? Your phone sucks. Where the Clash of Clans at, bro? Where the Summoners War at? You got the YouTube apps. You got that on lock. Where's the fun shit? You suck.
use has more computational power than NASA used to conduct the moon landing.
Yes, it does.
That's amazing considering I mainly use my iPhone just to send women pictures of my cat. My cat.
Of course it's your cat.
I love cats.
People don't send dick pics no more. If you really want to win, you know what to do already.
Number 55. Tokyo has the most millionaires in the world, whereas
Nice.
London has the most millionaires and New York has the most billionaires. Number 56.
We're winning.
In 1946, the US tried...
I don't know why I said we. That list doesn't involve anything about me. The closest I got to that was that it's in the United States, so I said, yeah, the United States is winning. I'm an American, so it's us, but it's not us. Chavez ain't no billionaire. I don't even know what I would do with that much money. I would never be a billionaire because I can't even think what to do with $1 billion. So I already know I don't have that much. So
to buy Greenland from Denmark for $100
I could be a
million.
billionaire, though. I could do
as
that.
part of plans to build a missile defense system on the island in the event of an attack. Denmark, however, refused to sell. Number 57. You may want to sit down for this next fact, motherfuckers, because it's a sad one. Approximately 93% of all humans who have ever lived are now dead. Number 58.
thanks.
Speaking of every single human
Thanks.
ever, every single human ever spent approximately half an hour as a single cell. Yep, that's right, even your good pal Sam. Number 59. If you were to remove all the empty space from within the atoms that constitute everybody on the planet, the entire global human population could be compressed down into a mass roughly the size of an apple. Number 60.
That's really abstract thinking there, isn't it?
Speaking of shrinking huge
Yeah.
things down into tiny little proportions as an illustrative device, if the gigantic burning orb of flames that is our sun, praise the sun,
Orb of-
was scaled down to
Hey,
the
what
size
else,
of a
Larry?
white blood cell, the Milky Way, i.e. our galaxy, would be the size of the continental United States. Also, if you shrunk the sun down to
Whoa.
the size of a tiny white blood cell, you'd destroy the solar system and would all die, so maybe don't do that, okay?
Okay.
Number 61.
Fair enough.
All mirrors are actually ever so slightly green due to the fact they reflect slightly more green lights than any other colour. This can be seen when looking into one of two mirrors that have been placed on opposite sides of each other, as
Right.
the everlasting reflections get more and more green
Yeah,
as they
yeah, yeah.
move away from you.
Yeah, I have noticed
Number
that.
60.
I have noticed that because I used to be obsessed with that as a child. But when you have two mirrors reflecting each other, or like when I first downloaded OBS. And you set up OBS wrong, you get the infinite screen glitch, right? But it's just because you're just showing yourself. You just have to flip the scene, right? But that's what everybody gets confused about. I'm obsessed with that infinite reflection idea. I think that's like such a interesting concept.
2. If you were thinking the last time you watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, my, don't those lovely Hugo Boss designed Nazi uniforms look real? It's because they are. Most of the uniforms worn by the actors playing Nazis in the book-burning scene are authentic World War II uniforms, and yes, they were designed by Hugo Boss. 2 facts for the price of 1 there. Bargain.
But he didn't get banned from YouTube. Just saying.
Number 63.
Just saying.
Earth is the only known planet in the entire universe
Why'd
where
you
fire
shoot it?
can burn, because no other planet has enough oxygen in its atmosphere. Nintendo 64.
One of the reasons why we're all here, guys.
The second ruler of the Moroccan Alawite dynasty, known as Ismail ibn Sharif, is known to have sired 867 children, which is widely considered to be the highest verifiable number of offspring produced by one man in human history.
Damn.
Number 65. For a period in 2010, the fastest supercomputer
Is
used
that Ben 10?
by the US Defense Department was 1,760 PlayStation 3 consoles hooked up to one another. So next time your grandma...
I'm sorry,
It's
what?
1,005. For a period in 2010, the fastest supercomputer used by the US Defense Department was 1,760 PlayStation 3 consoles hooked up to one another.
What?
So next time your grandma complains to you
What
that you're
does that
playing too many
mean?
video games, say it's saving the world, Nana.
1,700 PS3s. About the 33rd largest supercomputer in the world right now is in the US Air Force Research Laboratory. Got it. Which has a core made up of 1,060 Sony PlayStation 3s, in addition to its large capacity. The so-called Condor cluster is capable of performing 500 trillion floating point operations per second. That's what a teraflop is. It's weird that they did that. Making it the fastest interactive computer in the entire US Defense Department. So odd to me.
Number 66. When Microsoft launched its own line of phones, the company held a mock funeral to mark the death of the iPhone. In retrospect, that probably was a tad overconfident. What do you think, Siri?
That was really quite silly, Sam.
Yeah, I thought so.
With all the
Number
Apple
67.
hate now, you wouldn't know
If you
it.
could hypothetically fold a sheet of paper in half as many times as you wanted, by the 103rd fold, it would be as thick, with 2 C's, as the entire universe.
Dick.
Exponential growth, sub.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that, actually. That's really good. Again, very abstract, but I like that.
Number 68. Whataburger and What-A-Burger are the names of 2 American burger company restaurants which opened independently of each other in 1950 and were completely unaware of each other's existence until years later in the 1970s. Number 69.
Ooh, ooh.
Sam. The high-energy music hall dance known as the can-can became popular during the
The
1840s and was widely
can-can.
considered scandalous at the time. It was the twerking of its day. You may think this is simply because of prudish social norms at the time, but in actual fact, many women of that time wore pantalettes, a form of loose underwear which featured an open crotch. As a result, the can-can's
Freaky.
trademark high kicks could well be extremely revealing indeed.
We have a place called the Can Room, and every Vegasee knows the can. They'll come pick you up in a limo and bring you to the Can Room. The Can Room. Couples welcome.
70. You know how in movies you always see badasses setting off explosions by flicking a lit cigarette into a puddle of gasoline? Well, shockingly, movies are lying to you. It is impossible to ignite spilt fuel by dropping a lit cigarette on it. In fact, one group of researchers tried to replicate this move 2,000 times.
Really?
And ended up with a failure rate of 100%.
I had no idea.
Number 71.
I didn't know that wasn't possible.
The mafia crime drama The Sopranos was so accurate that when the show aired on Sundays, the FBI listening to the mobsters the following Monday via wiretaps heard them discussing the show and couldn't believe how accurate it was. In fact, some of them suspected that the show's producers had a mole on the inside.
Wow.
Number 72.
Wow. That's
The
really
rock and
good.
roll legend Elvis Presley was known to have symbols from several different religions on chains around his neck. When asked about it, he explained he did so simply because he didn't want to miss out on heaven due to a technicality. Crazy, right? Just crazy enough to work.
He's not that smart. He was not a good guy. Do you guys like Elvis Presley music? Is that still a thing people like? I've met a couple people who are like, either people that are really into Elvis Presley or they just don't give a shit.
Number
so I just want to
73.
know. I'm just interested.
When a person turns 100 in Japan, they are sent a special silver cup from the Prime Minister to mark the achievement.
That is so cool.
Unfortunately, so many people turn 100 in Japan nowadays that the government has started to issue silver-plated cups instead.
Aww.
Then is it? Number 74. The Japanese electronics company Samsung originally sold just noodles. It wasn't until 1970 that they moved into the electronics market, and in my expert opinion, it was probably for the best.
Wow.
Number
Wow.
75.
I heard that about, they were saying about the T-Series people too. They used to do ringtones and they started making YouTube vids.
Despite their seemingly primitive appearance, matches were actually invented after the cigarette lighter. Number 76.
I didn't know that.
Almost
I
a
had no
quarter
idea.
of all photocopier faults throughout the world are caused by people sitting on them in an attempt to photocopy their arse. A lot of these facts in this video are hard to believe, but this one, yeah,
I
not so
believe
much.
that. Yeah.
Number
I used to work at a print shop. I've had one cracked glass replacement that they wanted to do that I had to call in a specialist for because I can't just do that. And they just kept swearing to how maybe they dropped a book on it or something. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm sure your book is in the shape of an ass.
Number 77. Like all other planets in our solar system, Uranus is constantly pirouetting as it makes its way around the Sun, owing to the fact its orbital axis is tilted at 90 degrees. Less of a pirouette and more like rolling on the floor to put out your flaming clothes. Number 78. Roughly a quarter of all the bones in your body are in your feet.
Yeah.
It's just like my grandma used
Yeah,
to say.
your feet have a lot of
Have
bones.
more bones in them than you think. Sage words.
You gotta be real careful with foot injuries, man. It takes a long time to, if ever, sometimes, to heal from those. Same thing with feet surgery. Make sure you really need
Number
it.
79. Mantis shrimp can snap its claws so
Oh,
fast
yeah.
that it boils the water around it and even creates a flash of light. Kind of like an anime fight scene, only real and with shrimp.
Yeah, we've seen that on the
80.
channel actually a couple times.
Hilariously, the state sport of the American state of Maryland is jousting. What?
That's
Does really
awesome.
still happen? If so, get me tickets.
That's awesome.
Number 81.
They do it in Vegas, do it in the Ren Fair. Come check it out. It's amazing. They do jousting and then they do fighting, full-on fighting. We're going next year, dude. Around this time next year. Come join us.
In order to know whether it's a good time to mate, male giraffes employ a rather impolite method of foreplay. A male who is hot under his numerous collars
yeah.
will continuously headbutt a female in the bladder until she urinates, at which point the male then tastes the pee, which allows him to tell whether or not she's ovulating. Kinky giraffe.
I was saying yeah because I've seen them slap their heads against each other in that video that we watched. If I could, but I didn't know about the rest of it. That's disgusting.
Number 82. More photos were taken in the last 2 minutes than the entirety of the 19th century. However, roughly the same proportion were dick pics, I assume. Number 83. Humanity sent people to walk on the moon before someone had the bright idea to put wheels on suitcases, which appeared in the 1970s. Number 84. Old William Shakespeare, or Billy Shakes as I call him, invented a great number of things. One of those things was the name Jessica, which was invented by Shakespeare specifically for his 16th century play The Merchant of Venice. Number 85. The original name of the settlement that eventually grew to become the city of Los Angeles, El Pueblo de Donestra, Sonora la Reina de Los Angeles de Porciuncula, which translates as the town of Our Lady, the Queen of Angels of Porciuncula. Number 86. The pop-punk band Blink-182 named their production company Poo Poo Butt Inc. to facilitate the simple pleasure of getting to hear their accountants, managers and attorneys say it completely seriously during meetings and over the phone.
Ah, man. Blink-182.
Number 87.
The feels.
A proper term for a person who has a particular love of beards is a pagonophile.
Pagonophile, huh? Where you guys at? Where are my pagonophiles at? I know I ain't got like a spectacular one going, but I got a little something. Like a little chin strap going, a little length on the strap, you know what I mean? Pagonophile me up, baby.
Number 88. The French equivalent of English phrases like the cat's pajamas or the bee's knees is Le Petit Jesus un colette de velours.
Le Petit Jesus galette placour.
The baby Jesus in velvet shorts, though it's usually used to describe good wine. I have so many questions about that, I'm just going to move on. Let me just try it out first, actually. Jennifer Lawrence, Tu es petit Jesus un colette de velours. Number 89. In 2005, Facebook hired graffiti artist David Cho to work his artistic magic in the new company office and cover the place in cool, trendy, proto-millennial murals. Cho agreed to be paid in Facebook shares rather than customary money, which paid off big time in 2012 when Facebook went public, giving its shares a value of roughly $200 million.
Wow.
Number 90.
Y'all really went with that? Yo. That man's a genius. I've never heard of that actually working before. Good shit, man. Good shit, man.
Before filming Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, director Alfonso Cuarón challenged the plucky trio of Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint and Emma Watson to write an essay about their characters. Studious Watson wrote a 16-page treatise on Hermione Granger, whereas Radcliffe produced a single page. Grint, however, forgot to turn his in. Oh, that is so wrong.
Yeah.
Grint was a bit older than Watson and Radcliffe and was studying for his GCSEs at the time, so maybe cut him some slack, okay, you savages? Number 90.
That's good. That actually matches the characters pretty well.
In 1988, Cosmopolitan magazine, in all its sexual wisdom, ran an article saying it was impossible for women to contract HIV from having sex with a man because the virus could not be transmitted via the missionary position.
What?
For the sake of any and all doubt, this is absolutely 100% false.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, kids. Wrap it the F up.
Sorry, I forget to say that disclaimer sometimes out loud. I think my facial expressions show it, but those could be misinterpreted. So we will say it. It don't matter how you fuck. If you fuck, you can get sick. Your dick will be coughing, son. Wrap that shit up.
Number 92. Rebel Wilson decided to pursue a career in acting after she contracted malaria and experienced vivid hallucinations in which she thought she was a famous actress winning an Academy Award.
Wow.
Number 93.
Wow.
Bright source energy even past solar plant in the Mojave Desert generates so much heat that birds flying overhead are instantly incinerated in mid-flight. Due to the plume of smoke that birds produce as they fall to the ground, workers at a state-of-the-art solar plant refer to them as streamers, which is, well, morbid. But hey, at least lunch every day is sorted, right?
I kind of want to watch it. I kind of want to, but I don't. All right, let's look up her set and see if we can find it, bro.
Bored.
That's crazy.
Number 93. Bright source energy even past solar plant in the Mojave Desert generates so much heat.
Mojave Desert solar plant. That's what we're going to look at. Yo.
A solar energy plant is getting flat. Now federal wildlife officials want to pause their expansion of the Mojave Desert, but it's actually...
So this project will fuel 140,000 California homes. So effectively...
behind this $2.2 billion solar
God,
project.
damn, that's
It's
a lot
now
of
under
solar
fire
panels.
because the heat it produces, up to 900 degrees, is charring the feathers of birds flying through, often causing them to crash and die. Workers on site call them streamers because of the smoke plume created when the birds ignite in midair. In a report on avian mortality at 3 Southern California facilities, federal investigators found that these solar farms may act as a megatrap, attracting insects, which in turn attract insect-eating birds, which are then incapacitated.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, dude, if it's attracting birds, it means that light is crazy. You have to worry about light pollution, which sounds like one of those things like AC racism, right? It sounds like it's one of those, but hear me out first, then make your determination afterwards. In places like Vegas, where we have lights on 24/7, the wildlife can't tell the difference between daytime and nighttime. So our birds are up all the time because it's so bright outside, right? So it's the same thing here. Bugs can't tell where the light source comes from. Like when we had that grasshopper infestation and they all came down to the strip, where we'll put Skitten's video here, right over all the grasshoppers swarming around. That wouldn't happen if we didn't put the lights there. Normally, when that swarm comes in, they would just be spread out. But they are clustering around that light source, right? So the same thing here. You have to actually, it sounds really stupid, but in places like in our desert, you have to actually think about when birds migrate in, and there are going to be bugs out here, you're going to be killing swarms and swarms of birds, which can affect so much more than you originally think it can. That is something that you have to watch out for if it starts to have that effect. You have to be ready to respond to that. You cannot just ignore that in this type of ecosystem, man.
The birds flying overhead are instantly incinerated in mid-flight.
That's crazy.
Due to the plume of smoke that birds produce as they fall to the ground, workers at a state-of-the-art solar plant refer to them as streamers, which is, well, morbid. But hey, at least lunch every day is sorted, right? Number 94. By the way, before I say this is potentially my favourite fact in 101 Facts history.
Okay.
In China, the 1999 film The Sixth Sense was known simply as He's a Ghost.
Wow.
That's right, the title was a spoiler. A spoiler of the biggest thing in the whole film, the biggest plot twist ever, and it's in the title.
Wow.
Oh, China, what are we going to do with you?
They called it He's a Ghost.
Number 95.
I wonder what's in the name that can't be in the name. I wonder how does it get translated like that? Yeah, that's funny though.
In 2013, the original Star Wars film was dubbed into Navajo, making it the very first film to have been dubbed into a Native American language. About time, guys.
Huh.
Number 96. Humans are the only mammals with breasts that are permanently enlarged.
Hey.
Good to know. I'm sure that fact will come in useful at some point in my life.
Hey.
Not that I have a disinterest in. Let's move on. Number 97. The jungles of Guam have around 40 times the amount of spiders as the neighbouring islands due to a lack of forest birds.
Oh, wow.
Which seals Guam's fate as a place I shall never ever visit. Number
Yo, that's a fatty right there. That's a fatty
98.
right there, boy.
In 1897, the world's first LGBT rights organisation was formed, known as the Scientific Humanitarian Committee. The group gathered signatures for a petition to repeal the law that criminalised male homosexuality. One of the signatures was Albert Einstein.
Lit.
Number 99. The legendary daredevil Evel Knievel was fired from his first job at a mining company after he attempted to pop a wheelie in a bulldozer, which wouldn't have been so bad and maybe kind of cool had he not crashed into power lines and knocked out the electricity supply of an entire town.
Oh, shit. Evil? Damn. So you didn't have much other choices than this, huh?
Number 100. There's a rare form of brain damage known as 101 facts. I'm just kidding.
Ha!
There's a rare form of brain damage known as visual anosognosia, or Anton Babinski syndrome, in which a person is provably blind as a result of damage to the brain's occipital lobe. But the individual is entirely convinced that they are still capable of seeing.
Oh.
Number 101! Almost 1 in every 5 people attempting to escape the police in LA during high-speed car chases actually managed to do so. There you go, there's some hashtag inspiration for any of you criminal motherfuckers out there, although hopefully there's not many of you, and if you are, you're on my side, but just be nice people. Anyway, that was 101
coming to get you, Sam. Wow, that was great. I'm glad it's something that we actually came back to finish. We will put this up as one video, because we have enough videos coming out in the next couple of days, so you will see this. And the next time we're going to is the one about the 1990s, as promised. So we'll be back. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure y'all take it easy, man. Peace. That was great.